diversity, depth, and breadth of his roles is extraordinary and worthy of the highest accolades. Willem has been recognized with 4 Academy Award nominations. 1 for Best Leading Actor for Julian Schnabel's At Eternity's Gate, which was also a Golden Globe nomination. He's won 3 Best Actor nominations for supporting role, including for Sean Baker's The Florida Project, also a Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild nomination. E. Elias Terhege's Shadow of the Vampire, which also received Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild nominations, and for Oliver Stone's Platoon. The New York Times named Willem one of the top 25 actors of the 21st century. He's been awarded by the New York Film Critics Circle and National Board of Review, as well as twice by the Los Angeles Film Critics Association. Additionally, he's the recipient of 2 Independent Spirit Awards, the Venice Film Festival Volpe Cup, and a Berlinale Honorary Golden Bear for Lifetime Achievement. Willem's influence and impact has skyrocketed from his early days at UW-M, the Faculty Student Workshop Theater X in Milwaukee, and onward to the New York-based Wooster Group, an experimental theater collective. Without further delay, it gives me great pleasure to turn things over to our esteemed commencement speaker so we can hear the energy and insights of Mr. Willem Dafoe. Please.
Chancellor Moni, professors, guests, family, and of course, the stars of today, you graduates. I'm very excited to be with you here today, and I'm honored by the invitation to address this 2022 UW-M graduating class. It's odd to be here at UW-M after almost 50 years, addressing a large group of people on this special occasion when I don't personally know them. I will try to draw on the wisdom of something theater director Robert Wilson once told me regarding authentically connecting with an audience. If you try to reach everyone, you will get no one. If you try to reach one, you will get everyone. So, I guess I'll speak to my younger self in the audience and hope it resonates with you as well. In the fall of 1972, I visited a friend, Jim Gage, who was a UW-M theater student, and he took me to the department's production of One Floor of the Cuckoo's Nest, starring Ron Garrett, who would become my acting teacher and who I keep in touch with even today. I loved the show and admired the professionalism and the high production values. That night, I decided I wanted to go to school here, and I immediately somehow enrolled, no matter that I hadn't finished high school yet. I got in here anyway. For a 17-year-old, unsophisticated kid from Appleton, Wisconsin, with a vague notion about being an actor. Hello, Appleton. UW-M appealed to me because Milwaukee, by comparison, was a big city with cultural and urban advantages. And I liked that UW-M appeared to be largely a commuter, blue-collar campus that was serious-minded and in the world, as opposed to the bubble of a traditional college-town school. I come from a large family, and all my 7 siblings went to Madison. I chose UW-M. As I began classes, I was struck by the range of experiences and backgrounds of my classmates. Some were older, some worked full-time jobs, some were returning to school after raising a family, some were on the GI Bill returning after service, some were the first of their families to go to college. Also, the faculty was not cookie cutter. Their teachings were diverse and they were big, colorful personalities. The theater classes were short on theory and long on practice. Some classes were built around researching and rehearsing the production that allowed for fruitful experimentation and put an accent on process as much as result. My time at UWM was formative and positive. It marked probably the first time I decided to pursue acting. Not necessarily because I thought I could make a career of it, but more because I found what I loved to do. At 17 years old, I wasn't concerned about making a living yet. But I knew I had found what I thought I was meant to do. That was a very important step in pursuing a productive life. And I thank UWM for that. While I was a student, I also had work as a dishwasher, a loading dock worker, and even a stint as a graveyard shift factory worker at a bindery that printed so-called men's magazines. I loved those jobs. Sometimes it's not what you do that is important, but the attitude you do it with that matters, which reminds me of the old joke. A guy goes to the doctor's office because he develops a rash on his hands. The doctor examines him and asks, "What do you do?" The guy says, "I clean up elephant shit at the circus." The doctor says, "Well, maybe you ought to quit that job." The guy says, "What? Give up show business?" My point is, I always try to be happy where I am, take care of what I can control, and let go of what I can't. It's so important. Boy, is this popping. It's so important to meet things as they are, not as I wish them to be. There's an old Chinese proverb. The one who forces nothing can accomplish anything. Assess situations, be objective, be determined, but don't complain or worry excessively. All grumbling is tantamount to why is the lily not an oak? Self-acceptance and composure attracts people. Egotism and negativity repels people. I've been an actor for 45 years. The acting profession is filled with uncertainty and rejection. And that has forced me to develop equanimity and flexibility and appreciate my failures are as important as my successes in my growth as a person and as an actor. I found that as a performer, serving something outside yourself is a key to freedom. I feel most creative when I go towards someone else's vision, usually the director, and I try to understand, realize, and inhabit it. I learn something when I give up some control and work with new impulses, usually the characters, that aren't necessarily mine. That new knowledge transforms me and becomes the heart of the performance. And if it's authentic and transparent, the audience experiences it with you. You can dream of new worlds and new ways of being. I don't see much difference between living and working, or gaining knowledge in your work, or evolving as a person. Each one is part of the other. I cite these things learned from my profession because I'm guessing they can apply to all professions. I can only speak of what I know, and more importantly, know what I don't know. Be at peace with yourself. Find what you love and practice it any way you can. Serve others. Make every step a pleasure. And trust it will take you where you need to be. Thanks for listening. Above all, today is a celebration Enjoy yourselves. Congratulations.